Now this one upgraded to 16 gigs of RAM. Hold on. There was another one that needed RAM as well. So that one does too. So they both need 16 gigs of RAM. But one of them's already got... One just needs one stick of RAM, and the other one needs two. So, in order to find out which one's which, they've got their names on them here. So, this one's T. Jones. So we're going to go and check our email. And look at T. Jones. And then we're going to check the PC status. This one is the one where he's already got 8 gigs and he just needs the other 8 gigs. Okay. So we're going to do that one right now. T. Jones. So here, we'll remove this panel. It's dusty in here. It doesn't tell us that we need to clean the dust, but we're going to do that anyways. Clean all the dust out of here, and hopefully we have a happy customer, because it's not telling us we need to do this, but we're going to. It doesn't cost us any money to do it, just time. We're going to clean that all up for him. Hopefully he's happy about that. Okay, so now, with adding RAM, you've got 4 RAM slots here, and these little tabs, you have to manually open them. So we're going to open right beside the other one. Now, it doesn't matter in this game where you put the RAM sticks, but in real life it does. So if you're building a PC in real life, you have to consult your owner's manual, and it'll tell you which which DIMM slots to put the RAM into. It'll make a big difference if you're running dual channel, because dual channel is quite often slots 1 and 3. But here, we're just going to put it right beside the other one. Let's find our memory, this one, slide it in there, and these tabs will automatically close when you put the RAM in. Now we just need to boot to the operating system. Oops, not install. Cables. So we'll hook up our cables here. Turn the power on. Boot up to the operating system. Okay, that's done. So this job is complete. We just need to put our side panel back on. Turn it off. Pick it up and put it in the hallway. Then this last job, oh, this is dusty. We're going to go ahead and clean out that dust first thing. And then replace the air cooler. So to replace the air cooler, we're going to have to remove the cable first, and then the cooler. And then before we put a cooler back on, we're going to have to put thermal paste on. If you don't put the thermal paste on, it is going to overheat and you're going to get a bad review. But we'll go to install CPU cooler, and this one we're just going to sell it for $0 and get it out of our inventory, and then put this new one on here. Now you can adjust which direction you want it to face. I usually just plop it right in there, and then look for my cable, hook that up to the motherboard. Now all we have to do is boot it to the operating system. objectives are done. We'll turn that off. Install the side panel. Pick it up and put it in the hall. So all 4 of those jobs are done. This was a pretty fast day. Some pretty easy jobs. However, I can go to my inventory here. And this memory that I bought, we're just going to go ahead and sell that. We don't need it. We're even going to sell this used one. That was kind of a big oops. So, emails. Is that one new? No, I just didn't accept it for whatever reason. So we'll accept that. And all these other jobs we're going to collect on them. And we're unlocking new parts. So let's take a look at what we unlocked here. G skill, RAM. That looks like an RX 550. That's a video card. I don't know what that is, to be honest. And that's a video card. That's a video card. And for some reason we didn't accept that, so that'll show up tomorrow. The rest of our emails are done. And we've made $1,271. So, because I have a little bit of money, I'm going to look at these tools and software. This Auto Connect tool, it's all right. Like, it just saves you a little bit of time if you don't want to manually connect the tools to the computer every time. It just saves you that little bit of time. I don't rank it very high on the list of tools that are available, but it is somewhat useful. This system information, it does tell you information about the PC, but I haven't really found a case where that information was really beneficial to me. I think it's just, at this point, kind of fancy. It might help you out later in the game, but I haven't. On my main account, I'm level 12, and I haven't found a case where that's actually been beneficial to me. The part ranking is really good, so we are going to add that to our cart. And will it run? I wouldn't say that this is I would rank it very high. Like, I would say it's actually necessary to have, whereas this is very useful. But this, I would say, is a requirement. You pretty much have to have this. Some jobs are going to require that you build computers to run specific programs, and that you're going to need that to find out exactly what the minimum requirements or the recommended requirements are. So we're going to go ahead and buy these, and that'll leave us with $471. Now, these are actually instant, I believe. So I can go ahead and install this on my main computer, which some of the programs would be beneficial to have on your main computer. Some of them you're going to need to install onto customers' computers. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to install this one first before I restart. And see how it's going kind of slow, and we're going to restart. Yes. If I have a better PC that can run faster, these will actually change the loading times of the systems. So it kind of makes it somewhat realistic, whereas a better PC will actually boot faster. That does actually happen in this game. I mean, the loading times aren't realistic, but it just adds a sense of realism. Simulated realism, I guess. Okay, now will it run? We're going to have a look at this. So all of these programs, some of them are games, some of them are other programs. They will tell you, let's look at Adobe Premiere Pro CC. It's going to tell you the minimum specs. So you're going to need 12 gigs of RAM, 2 gigs of VRAM, 7 gigs of storage, and you're going to need a minimum of an Intel Core i3-6100 and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 video card. Then you can look at the recommended specs and they'll be a little higher. The reason that that's important, and the reason why the part ranking is important, is because you can go and look at your video cards and your processors and see the i3-6100 or 6300 or whichever it was would be ranked about here. So if you need a minimum of that, you can come to the list and see if you want to build it with Intel parts or AMD parts. And it'll have the AMD parts, these are all Intel, but it'll have a ranking of what the processes it can do are. That way, if you go to it will run, you can see that's an i3-6100, and you go to part ranking. The Core i3-6100 is right here. So an equivalent AMD part might be listed right here, or it might be listed right here. You just want to find something that's this or better, and this list tells you that. So these two programs are very useful, and I highly recommend you getting them as soon as you can. The Auto Connect tool, it's somewhat useful. It just saves you a little bit of time, but it doesn't give you any functionality really. If I go back to the shop, we can look at some of these other tools. The Auto Screw tool is really good. The Auto Standoff tool is really good. Bongle, I don't recommend getting at all. It is a completely useless tool. The GPU tuner, I haven't unlocked yet, so I don't really know what that's like. The Auto Cable tool is very good. The Market, I find to be completely useless. If you're a person that wants to buy and sell used parts, I can see how it can be useful, but I don't find that even if you can use that to your benefit, I don't see it being all that useful. You can get a tiny bit extra money by doing that, but it's not going to earn you a whole bunch of extra money. Faster installation upgrade, that one's all right. It's not the greatest, but it does speed things up a little bit. The OCCT, stress test your machine, I haven't actually used that. I have it on my main account, but I haven't actually used it. I don't think it's really that useful up to level 12 anyways. PCBay is almost a must. It's a very useful thing to have. You can get used parts, which in some jobs you can use used parts, in some jobs you can't. The customer wants new parts. You can still put used parts in that, but these going to give you a bad rating. The peripheral shop, it's cosmetic. You can buy keyboards, mouse pads, mice, a headset, things like that for your shop, and just completely cosmetic. They don't really do anything for you. The quick cable tool, it's fairly useful. It just speeds things up. The quick screw tool, very useful. I like that a lot. The USB drives, if you're doing multiple jobs at the same time, that can be useful. That way you can leave your USB stick in a PC and you don't have to pull it out and take it to another one. You can just work on 3, have 3 USB drives. I'd say they're not that valuable, to be honest, because you can just take one USB stick and put it in 3 machines, because that's fairly easy to do. I mean, they don't cost a lot, but I haven't really found a need for these. It's just you can get them if you want. Custom water cooling shop, I haven't unlocked this on my main account, but I can't see that being something I really want to get into, is custom water cooling. The stock water cooling is very good. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about the tools and kind of how I rank them. So I would say the part ranking, will it run, are necessities. PCB is pretty much a necessity. The tools that speed things up are good, but the screw and the standoff are probably the better ones. The auto cable tool isn't. Oh, okay, that's a really good one too. The faster installation is meh. The auto connect tool is meh. The market is useless. The bongle is useless. System information is useless. So far that I've found anyway. I haven't really had any use for those at all. Okay, so I guess there's nothing left to do for this day, so we're just gonna end the day.